Hello YouTube, it's Si here from Moto Photo. Welcome back to the channel. I want to say a big thanks to everyone who's subscribed to the channel already. We've only been up and running since December, and already we've got almost 1,500 subscribers, and it blows me away actually, really blows me away. Thanks to everyone that's subscribed. I'm really glad that you're enjoying the content, and if there's anything else you would want to see added to the channel, please let me know. As you know, I've got access to all the Triumphs, and I'm lucky enough to have access to some of these Harley Davidsons today. And on the subject of Harley Davidsons, this is what this is all about today, the Harley Davidson Breakout 117. Now, I'm not a Harley guy. When I say a Harley guy, what is a Harley guy? I've never had a Harley, and I've never really been drawn to Harley Davidson motorcycles until this one came out. This came out, or I seen this one in the showroom maybe about a month or so ago, 6 weeks ago, and my eye was drawn to it right away. I just love the custom look on it. I love the low slung stance it's got, the raked out front end. I just think it's a stylish looking motorcycle. I could stand and look at it for ages. Now, I had a seat on it in the showroom and I thought this fits me quite well, and I've just had an inkling to take this out and give it a test ride. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out today. We've got a cracking route that I'm going to take it on. We're going away this morning. We've got about a 260 mile round route we're going to do. But at some point throughout that journey, what we'll do is we'll put the camera on and I'll give you my thoughts on what this bike's actually like to ride. So come on and I'll take you around it and I'll show you all over it. So the Harley Davidson Breakout 117, what's it like? Well, first of all, I've been out all day on the bikes with the team at West Coast Harley Davidson, so they've been really kind to give me a loan of this Breakout 117 today to take it out, have a go of it and see what I think about it. So I've been riding it pretty much all day, and I've got to say I'm thoroughly enjoying riding it actually, and I'm not a Harley rider, as you guys know. That the guys that watch the channel regularly will know I'm not a Harley rider at all. So this is pretty much me dipping my toe into the old Harley stuff. Now, Harley have brought this Breakout 117 out this year, and it's got a bigger tank. But it's not only got a bigger tank, it's got a more powerful engine as well. It's got a 117 engine in it. And you know, for you guys that don't really know much about Harley engines, pretty much like myself, the 117 engine is just, it's giving you more torque, more horsepower. And this one's sitting on about 100 horsepower, but I tell you what, man, it is so smooth and grunty with the torque that it's got. But to top that off, this particular bike has had a Dawn performance tune on it, and it actually goes really, really well. It's got great performance. It's got bundles and bundles of pickup. It seems to rev hard all the way through the rev. Now I've had a shot of a Harley, maybe, I don't know, last year or something like that, and I remember it pulled quite hard at the low revs, but then it kind of just sort of tailed off. But this doesn't seem to do that. This 117 with the Dawn performance tune just pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls. It's lovely. It really is a nice engine that's in this bike. This one's also fitted with a Jekyll Hyde exhaust. So this button here, you press that and an exhaust valve opens, and it makes the bike sound like this. And it sounds lovely. It really sounds nice. It's not overly loud,
It's just nice. It just sounds like a Harley should sound, in my opinion.
When you open up that throttle at low revs, it's like a kick in the backside with the power as it punches you along the road. And it, you know, the beauty with this 117 engine is it revs on. You know, it doesn't just rev in and run at a puff. It revs hard. It revs hard, you know, right through the mid-range. It really is a dream to ride. Now this one's had the Dawn Performance tune on it, and the Dawn Performance tune is giving it that, it's smoothing it out, and it's giving it even more power and even more torque, and it's just gorgeous. Honestly, it's absolutely gorgeous to ride,
and it feels amazing. It does. I've thoroughly enjoyed riding this today. I thought, because I think the last time I rode a Harley was on a Fat Boy, and it was quite a challenge to turn, but this just turns in lovely. It's got a big 240 section rear tyre on it, which makes it a wee bit, you know, you've got to move with the bike to get it to turn, but it's not difficult, and you soon get used to it, and it just flows through corners. It's lovely. It really is nice. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed riding this today. We did a big loop today where we started off in Glasgow and we went all the way up to the Creggan. And now we're heading back through. We went to the Creggan for lunch, and now we're heading back through Glen Coe and all the way back down to Glasgow. We'll maybe stop at Tyndrum for a coffee before we head down the road. But this has actually been a joy to ride this bike. It really has. It makes you feel. It makes you feel special. You feel as if you're sitting on something really special, and when you park it up, everyone wants to look at it. You can see people just staring at it. It stops them in their tracks to actually look at it. And you know, you can say what you like about Harley Davidson bikes, right? And I know that they've got a stigma attached to them, and you know, this, that and the next thing, but they certainly draw a crowd. And this bike in particular is just, it's got a real sort of custom look to it. It's a factory custom bike in essence that comes out of Harley Davidson. It's got a, you know, it's got a long raked out fork. It's got turbine wheels on it. They look really trick, the wheels, and I'll show you. I'll do a sort of walk around on the bike, let you see the bike, and let you see it in all its glory. I'll probably do that later on once I've given the bike a bit of a wash, because I feel guilty. It's been out all day and it's pretty bogging. So I will do that. I'll let you see some standout shots of the bike, and I'll talk you around some of the features that are on the bike as well, just to let you see, you know, what this bike's all about. But it's got big wide bars. It's got such a comfortable seat. It's almost, the seat goes up at the back. It almost holds you in place, but it's really comfortable. It's got forward pegs, but the pegs aren't, you know, too forward. They're just in a nice place. Now, I know a lot of people have sort of criticised the placing of the heavy breather air filter. It bangs off your knee, or it bangs off your shin. Now it does, right? There's no doubt about it. It does. But if you put your toe, I'm putting my toes on the footrest, and it doesn't touch my shin. But do you know what? Right, even if it does touch your shin, it's worth it to look like this. I mean, it looks spectacular, the bike. It really does. This one's finished in black, and it's got a little orange striping on it. And you know, in my opinion, if I was going to get this bike, I would get this or the orange one. I just think the two of them look really, really, really smart. Absolutely gorgeous. What a place! Passing through Glen Coe. If you've never been to Glen Coe, it's God's country. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is, and it's a nice day today, so we're seeing Scotland in all its glory as we travel round these roads on a big mile munching Harley Davidson. Now this is a Softail Harley, so you know, it's a kind of naked bike. It's not a bike you would, you know, automatically go sort of levitate towards for touring. But I've really enjoyed this today. I don't know if it's because you're sitting right in the bike, but I'm not feeling as if I'm getting beat up by the wind. It's fine. If you go over 80 miles an hour, you know, you can really feel it hitting your head, but you're missing the point if you're riding this bike really fast. It's a bike to sit back, relax, take in your surroundings, and just enjoy the ride.
So the bike's got a 34-degree rake, which gives you, you know, huge amounts of stability. And on the back, you've got a 240 section rear tyre. And another bike that I was riding last year in the Harley range was a Fat Boy, and the Fat Boy front tyre is quite fat. And I found that as you were turning into bends, you kind of had to fight the bike a wee bit to get into bends. And I was expecting the same with this bike, with this big 240 section rear tyre, but it's not the same. It just folds in. It's lovely. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's always going to be a bit harder to pull a 240 section rear tyre into something that's got a skinnier rear tyre on it. But it was lovely, and it was so stable in the bends and predictable as it was going round the bends. It was lovely, really, really nice. You know, the handling in the bike's really cool, right? It's to be expected of a big cruiser. You know, it's not a sports bike. You've got to ride it the way it's supposed to be ridden. And if you do that, it'll reward you. It's you know, as you're riding along the road and you come up to a corner and you just tip the bike in, there's just no dramas. In it goes, and it's just as smooth as butter all the way around. It really is a joy to behold to ride, actually. And I tell you what, I don't care what anybody says. See, when you're sitting on this and you're riding it, you feel special. You feel as if you're on something really special. It's a special motorcycle. For the first time, I've seen Harley Davidson sort of posting brake horsepower figures on the bikes, and they say that this bike's got 102 horsepower. Now, I know you guys and the Harley guys out there that are watching this will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I remember, it was 102 brake horsepower the engine had. But the big thing for me is it's got 168 newton meters of torque. 168 newton meters of torque. Now that's before you put the Dawn Performance tune on it. Now I'll need to come back and let you know exactly what performance that puts on, the Dawn Performance tune puts onto the bike, but I tell you what, man, this does not lack power in the slightest. It goes like the wind.
I hope you're enjoying the views. We're here to talk about the Breakout and how the Breakout, how I'm finding the Breakout, and without overdoing it, right, I've really enjoyed this bike to ride today. This was a big surprise for me, because I think I'd spoken to people who'd experienced of riding the old Breakout, that maybe, you know, it was a good bike, but maybe had some limitations in terms of its, you know, its range because of the size of its tank. I think the seat was a bit harder on it than this one, because I sat in one before down at the shop, and this definitely feels a lot more comfortable to sit on than the one I sat on at the shop. But the power of this engine is absolutely butter smooth, and it pulls and pulls and pulls. It really does. You've got a little classy speedometer here, right, just to go in line with the bike's look, this sort of minimal look that the bike has. And this is just, it's easy to read, it's all the information you need.
So what I noticed today when I was riding it was that the fuel tank, it's got an 18.9 litre fuel tank, so it's a massive step up from the old Breakout. The old Breakout had kind of sort of more of a paint. They went more for style on it, but in my opinion, I think this looks better. But it's actually, I think it returns 52 miles to the gallon for over a 1900cc engine, producing 168 newton meters of torque to give you over 50 miles to the gallon. That's incredible. I mean, it really is, and you know, I'm talking from first-hand experience. I've done a load of miles on this bike today, and it's been brilliant. The fuel economy of the bike's been absolutely great. Not a problem. So the Breakout starts at £24,195 on the road for this vivid black colour. Now there's a few extras on this bike. This bike's got a set of Jekyll Hyde exhausts, and basically there's like a little button on the dash. You press that button and it opens a valve in the exhaust, and it turns the exhaust from sounding a little bit tame to sounding like a Harley. It sounds really sort of thumpy. Let's just start it and we'll let you hear it. It's always difficult over this mic, but let's hear it anyway. So that's exhaust in its standard form. It's still a bit noisier than sorry, not in its standards form, but this is the exhaust as it comes out the box from Jekyll Hyde. Now, it's quite muted, the sound's quite muted on it, which I find quite useful when you come out of your house in the morning and start the bike on a Sunday morning. You're not waking up the whole neighbourhood, but you press this button and it just changes tone. Fantastic. The other colours that are available, you can get the bike in, it's like a Baja orange colour, which I think looks lovely. There's a silver colour that you can get the bike in as well, and there's also a matte denim black, which is like a matte black paint finish, and these have all got a surcharge, just a wee bit more expensive. I think it's about 400 quid more expensive for those different paint finishes. But I like this. I think this looks great, the black. I just think it suits all the chrome, and with the accents that have been put on here in the engine, the oranges, I just think it pops, really, really pops. You know, I love the uncluttered look at the front of this bike. I like that. It's got a little digital readout here, but you know, it's not out of place. It looks fine on the bike, and it gives you just what you need to know. You know, it just gives you the mileometer. It gives you your fuel gauge. And a few other bits and pieces, and there's a little kind of dash warning lights at the bottom here, just let you know you're in neutral, and any other warnings that the bike wants to give you, it'll come up on this screen here. But you know, this is one of the things that I like about this bike. You know, when you get bikes that have got like different bits of technology and things like that, they'll date over time. I just think this has got a classic look about it, and it will last the test of time. And who knows, you know, in a few years' time, this will be a real sought after classic motorcycle. It's just lovely. Well, that's us, a Harley Davidson Breakout 117. I hope you enjoyed the video. I thoroughly enjoyed riding this today. It was great fun. I can't actually wait to get it back out again. It's a bike that's just, it's left me with a bit of an impression after riding it. I felt special when I was riding it. I felt as if I was on something special. And I can't wait to get another shot of it. But listen, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel if you can. I've got lots of content still to come. I've got lots of Triumph content as usual, but every now and again I'll drop in some Harley Davidson content as well. And if you guys tell me in the comments if you like this and you'd like to see some more Harley Davidson content, then I'll do my best to get it in for you. But thanks again for tuning in to Moto Photo, and I'll see you in the next video.